and welcome to Racer TV. I'm Rachel Ayers. Joining me is Jason Wygant. We're at the Snowshoe Mountain Ski Resort in the heart of West Virginia. Jason, this is a ski resort, not our typical GNCC field.
No, absolutely not, Rachel. This is round 8 of the Can-Am Grand National Cross Country Series, but it feels more like round 1 because it's totally different than any race we've been at, like you said. And it starts with the start. We're going to be down on a paved highway instead of out in a field somewhere. And the trails, because they're so steep, so rocky, and so muddy, it's going to be very, very difficult. So it's going to be a fun day of racing.
Well, Jason, let's get down to racing. So far this year, we've seen Bill Balance and Chris Borch battling it out. They have almost 60 points over third place. And also, Chris had gained some momentum. He had 4 wins in a row, then misfortune struck last week. Yeah,
he had a bad break when his brakes broke at the last race. He finished 6th. Now Bill Balance has the points lead back.
By 1 point.
Right, it's still very close. So I think Chris Borch's motivation today is to try to prove to Bill Balance and himself and everyone else that that was just one unlucky break. He'll be back on top today here at Snowshoe, but we know Bill Balance and the rest of the boys are going to try to stop him.
Well, Jason, let's go down to the start and go GNCC racing.
All right, here we are, totally unique start. As we mentioned, they start on the pavement here. The top 5 in points are on the front row, and Borch grabs the whole shot over them. Looks like Matt Smiley there, his teammate in the East Coast ATV machine in second. Here's row number 2. Adam McGill grabbing the start out of those guys. And this is the way it's going to be. 5 seconds between rows. They will adjust time at the finish. So any of those guys in the back, they do not have to pass Borch, Smiley, Balance, these riders to actually win the overall. So that's going to throw a real curveball at these guys, as will these very rugged track conditions. There is the number 6 of Chris Bithell, and Taylor Kaiser on the 17 Privateer Yamaha working his way up. And here we saw Adam McGill and William Oakley out front of row number 2, and they are not that far behind the guys in row number 1. Look at how gnarly these trails are out here in West Virginia. The guys just picking their way through. Lots of tree roots, and they're only going to get bigger and bigger as the riders move through this terrain more and more throughout the day. Borch making it work for him. Look at the lead he's already begun to build up. Now in the lowlands, there's some mud down there. Balance still back there in third. We talked to him earlier about how rugged this race will be.
It's been tight all year long, and it's going to stay that way, I'm pretty sure. But everything's going good. We got the Yamaha working good. We've got things set up for this altitude, and this is going to be a one-of-a-kind race. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be some gnarly stuff out there. So, you know, today's a day to where a guy could make a lot of points or lose a lot of points. So I think the Yamaha's bulletproof and ready to go, so we'll see what's going to happen. We got to look at a little bit of it, and there's some stuff out there that's really, really tight and really gnarly. There's some, you know, water seeping out of the mountains from the rain that they've had in places, and it's real rocky, so they're going to be slick. I mean, a lot of people getting hung up. It's going to be a lot of people breaking front ends off, a lot of broken tie rods. It's going to be some gnarly stuff out there, so I'm looking forward to it.
Bill is always tough and consistent in rugged conditions like this. That's why he's won 7 straight titles. There's Adam McGill. He's one of the young guys. He's willing to let it all hang out. Same thing here with Chris Jenks. Very, very fast in rocky terrain. But all these guys have to play the consistency card today. But look at Borch just dusting the field right now as we get to the more open sections. Balanced into the number 2 spot. Borch is already gone. Looks like Bithell has moved up into third. You see, this is a ski resort. Lots of fans out here on the slopes. They even have the ski chairlifts open to allow the spectators to elevate over the course and get to check out some of the gnarly sections without having to walk or ride all the way down there. Here is your top 5. Chris Borch out front right now. Here's your top 10. Brian Baker on that Polaris rounds it out. Let's go to our morning race. Totally unique. Every week here on Racer TV, you see us highlight the utility machines, the women, the novices, the super seniors in the morning. But they always start separate with this unique Grand Prix style start here at Snowshoe. You see a mixture now. Riders randomly pick rows when they signed up to race. So you've got utility machines, utility limited machines, sport quads, race quads, all lined up together. And the utility guys are really happy about this. 4-wheel drive, big tires, big ground clearance, and gnarly track conditions here. They thought they would conspire together and help them win the overall. Now Tracy Checo in the women's class had won the overall in every morning race this year. This time, the Can-Am's fought back, and it's history in the making as Can-Am swept the top 3 positions after they took the top 4. The record was the podium sweep. 1, 2, and 3 were all Can-Ams. This guy's on a Can-Am Renegade, probably wishes he still had those front fenders with all the mud you have to take on out here. Some cross-country ski trails, you see the bridges that have been built. Help the skiers, help the ATVs as well. But some sections were tough. Very narrow trail here. This rider just waiting for the trail to open up, and all these riders behind waiting for the same thing. Those are 200cc Yamaha Blasters behind an 800cc Can-Am Outlander. Like I said, big hits. When it was all said and done, the 4x4s have broken through to not only win the overall, but sweep the podium. Congratulations to Jeremy Dunning, Brian McCann, and Lucas Brown. Racer TV is brought to you by Can-Am, Yamaha, Rocky Mountain, and Moose Racing. Welcome back. This is a spectacular one, the Snowshoe GNCC. Whoa, look out. Chris Borich, still early in this race, trying to learn the lay of the land and the timing of some of these jumps. This is a wild one. A ski resort is opening its doors for GNCC racing. Now, don't get misled by what you're seeing here. Chris Pitts in the top 3. This is wide open racing up on top. When we get down into the woods, William Yoakley in the charge here in the factory, Monster Kawasaki. Matt Smiley back here in the top 5. These guys got the work cut out for them once we get deep into the woods. Adam McGill, who nearly won our last GNCC, is hoping to rally here. Same thing with Chris Jenks for the podium earlier in the year. Look out, folks, as Jenks works his way through the pit area. Brent Sturdivant, a lot of people expected him to go fast early, but, well, everyone is trying to be smart. They know the rocks are big, the mud is deep, and the hills are steep. And even the young guys are trying to keep it inside. Let's talk to Chris Borich.
Yeah, just hopefully get a good start because we're all starting together in the front, so can't be saying that. So just go out there and try to save the bike. Looks like it's going to be a tough track out there. Just make sure everything's working well and go out and see what I can do. Oh, I had a little bad luck at that last race. Just something stupid went wrong. Got it fixed and way back, came back up to 6, so I was pretty happy about that. So go into here today and hopefully pull out a win, feeling good and ready to go.
All right, that's Chris Borich, definitely feeling good right now, pulling away from Bill Balance and trying to start a new win streak. Talk about Chris Jenks here, very good in these conditions. He is from West Virginia. I expected he and Sturdivant here to be a little bit further to the front early. They only started 5 seconds back, and they can make up that time very quickly. A lot of people predicted, in fact, Sturdivant would go all the way to the lead and then maybe run into some problems later on as Borich and Balance settled in for the long haul. Right now, it is the Killer Bees out front as usual. There's the Team Excel Motorsports rider, Brian Cook and Brian Baker. No relation to Brian Cook, although they both, well, they both sound like chef names. Baker has independent suspension in the back of that Polaris, so we'll see if that pays off in the more technical sections. Wait a minute, Balance has taken over the lead. Not sure what has happened out here, but Borich, who looked to be extending it, has suddenly dropped back to the number 2 spot. So Borich now is going to have his work cut out for him. All that hard work he put in, and look, now Jenks has moved up into 3rd, so that's more what we expected. Jenks should be a fast runner in this terrain, and he's going strong. Now let's talk to William Yoakley, the Kawasaki man.
I was expecting to be a lot rougher than, because, you know, I read on the internet and what everybody was saying, you know, this place is going to be like an old Blackwater, you know, replica. But, you know, up here now, there's, you know, a lot of fast stuff. But, you know, I guess it was going to be a little faster than I thought. And I had everything set up for more of a gnarly technical course. But I guess the last, you know, what they're saying, the last few miles are still pretty nasty and muddy and rocky. So, you know, I'm just going to get out there and, you know, a different start and everything today. So I finally got my starting issues resolved, and now we're doing a live engine. So,
well, that has been the problem as we see Baker try to get to the top. The Kawasaki fuel injection and trying to get to life quickly. Wait a minute, here's your problems for Borich. A huge bottleneck, and now we're into that tough stuff that Yoakley was talking about. Look at the chaos down here. The dam has burst, the water has come out of the mountains, and now we've got mud, rocks, roots. The only thing helping these guys are the spectators, the mud fleas, and that's classic GNCC. Borich, now you see back on a dry land, but more damage done. He lost the lead, and now he's lost even more time to Balance. And once again, slow and steady winning the race. No, wait a minute, Balance has actually fallen behind Borich. He must have gotten stuck even further back in there. I thought Borich, maybe we had missed Balance, but Borich has come through first. And Chris Bithell, ever determined, is there in 3rd. Look at Yoakley. Got to be happy he has that gnarly track set up on the Kawasaki right now because he is up into 4th. Matt Smiley loves these conditions. He is in the 5th. Very consistent this year. And McGill, again, trying to ride with inside of himself. not let it hang out too far. This is tough. Here's your top 5. Any of these guys can win when you have conditions like this. It's going to be interesting as we flip over to our top 10 to see how this all shakes out. Will consistency win the day? Stay tuned.
Hi, and welcome to this week's Rocky Mountain ATV MC Pro Tip of the Week. My name is Aaron, and this week we're going to talk about fasteners. I'm sure every motorcycle and ATV enthusiast out there has had the problem of losing a fastener, not having the proper hardware to replace it. Well, Tusk Off-Road has made it easy with their motorcycle and ATV bolt kits. For starters, the motorcycle bolt kit contains 180 pieces, which include 6mm bolts of all different lengths, nuts, bolts, washers, cotter pins, and almost anything you need to fix your bike. Now let's move on to the ATV kit. Now this kit's a little bit bigger than the motorcycle kit. It's actually 236 pieces, and part of the reason why is along with nuts, bolts, cotter pins, and washers, this kit's actually going to have plastic rivets to repair your plastics, and it's also going to have universal lug nuts for tapered and non-tapered wheels. Now these big kits are perfect for your toolbox, but if you want something you can take on the trail, Tusk Off-Road has your solution. And that's in our smaller motorcycle specific and ATV specific bolt kits. You can just throw these kits in your pack and hit the trail. And the best part about all these kits is the price, with the large kit starting at just $29.99 and the small kit starting at just $12.99. For more information, go online at RockyMountainATVMC.com or call for a free catalog.
Racer TV is brought to you by Can-Am, Yamaha, Rocky Mountain, and Moose Racing. Welcome back to a wild and woolly GNCC here in the mountains of West Virginia. And here it is, their first round of pit stops. Not just fuel this time, they're going to need gloves and goggles to deal with all that mud. Look at Bill Balance in the pits. He is entirely covered from head to toe, his machine as well, with West Virginia mud. This course is very, very tough. Balance in and out of the paved pits is welcome relief and rest for these riders. Interesting mix the way this course has worked out. We've got some high-speed sections. Obviously, this is the fastest of all, but even some of the wood sections are very fast, very wide open. And about 3 miles of really technical stuff. There's Chris Bithell into the pits. Some riders going by, he'll make up this time once he's back out and they have to pit later on. Again, new goggles for Bithell, a fresh tank of fuel, and he's in and out. Watch out. A lot of these riders are tempted to go fast up pavement. You'll actually wear out your tires and your brakes if you slide around a little bit too much in there. Oh, here's Balance now stuck in a bottleneck. And this is what it's all about. You've got to be patient. Balance trying to keep his cool. But look who's pulled up right behind him. It's Borich. And they could both try to take alternative lines here. But oh, and Balance has gotten it stuck. And here is Bithell now, I believe, right in behind them. Oh no, that's a lap rider. It's Smiley, who just came through on the 19. So what a battle. It's all coming down to this. Some riders motioning toward the camera. Whatever you can do to keep your cool. And it's hard not to freak out in situations like that, especially when you're balanced. You had built up a nice lead, and then suddenly Borich is now parked right on his back bumper thanks to the bottlenecks. Now Borich back out front. There he goes. Here's Balance coming by now. And the Killer Bees have gone back and forth, and they really can't hammer through this section. Look how much faster Smiley can go because he does not have lap traffic in front of him. And the bottlenecks are only going to get worse as this field thins out and the trail gets tougher. Bithell now, who was third, is back to fourth after the pit stops. We'll see if he can reel these guys in. And here's Yoakley. A lot of development on that Kawasaki Moscow ride this year. And this is a true torture test for his machine and everyone else. Here's Chris Jenks trying to run the pace. He had flashes of brilliance earlier. Same thing with Adam McGill.
I just want to finish this round and just not break and just have a good day. Just try not to get stuck or rip anything off the bike or hurt myself in general. So just ride smart. It's like when I ride it all the time at the house. But as far as being this rough and rocky, I mean it can get like that places, but I choose not to go there just because it tears up stuff. So, but I mean, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. I think it'll be a lot like Kentucky was. There'll be a lot of ups and downs, things like that. So I'm ready to go. Been doing a lot of training. Ate my peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I'm ready to go.
Adam McGill always has fun at the races, and I'm sure he's enjoying this, as tough as it is. He'd enjoy it more if he could get up front, which is certainly a possibility. We can barely even tell who is who at this point. The quads are completely covered in mud. The number plates, well, they're about 6 inches deep in the slime hanging on these machines. And we're just trying to pick up some names and numbers if you can. That is Yoakley, you can tell. The Kawasaki is a distinctive look. And I think that's Chris Jenks right there behind him trying to work a pass. Then the trail narrows down, only enough room for one machine. It's a real treat. There's the Olin's people cheering on their man, Bill Balance, who is right behind Boric. Boric going to run a wide quad. Peyton, oh, I confused it again. That's not Boric. It's a slower rider, and that must mean that Balance has the lead now with 1 lap to go. Smiley coming through in second. He is right there in the hunt. I don't know where Boric is. I don't know if he's come through yet, or perhaps he has dropped outside. Now here he is in third, so he's not in the top 2, not in that battle for the lead. And now Boric is going to have to put on an all-out blitz here on the final lap to try to get back to where he was earlier in the race. And of course, that was in the lead. Biffle coming through in fourth, still very close between all these riders. And with those bottlenecks and that mud, you can't count out anyone. Even Yoakley here in fifth. Monster Kawasaki might have been outside shot at this one if luck were to fall his way in the last lap. Here comes McGill in sixth. I guarantee he's smiling underneath that helmet. He will yuck it up here in the muck. So Bill Balance leading and going to our break. We'll be back with our last lap. Balance doesn't often give it away in this situation. Can he hold on? Let's find out. Racer TV is brought to you by Can-Am, Yamaha, Rocky Mountain, and Moose Racing. Back to the action now in the pits. Chris Boric, man, he wishes he didn't have to make this stop. He's got ground to make up. Bill Balance blowing through his pit area. No worries, mate. Full speed ahead for your defending series champ. Matt Smiley's in the pits. So is our Rachel Ayers with a report.
We are in the last lap at the finish line. We're waiting for our leaders to come their way through here for the checkered flag. Bill Balance is currently sitting in the #1 position. Matt Smiley is sitting in second, and Chris Boric is in third. He just came around the pits. He seemed to be a little irate in the pits. He had some type of goggle problems. So we're going to keep an eye on our top 3 as they come through the finish line.
Rachel at the finish line, not in the pits. That's where the action is going to be. Bill Balance racing toward that spot, and now no riders in front, no riders behind. Smiley's going to have to win this one outright. He's going to have to dig down deep and try to catch Balance because lap traffic not as much of a factor as it normally is. Boric still on the gas. Look how muddy this trail is now. I think a lot of the riders, the slower riders out here, the machines are busted. Maybe they're off to the side of the trail. The lappers were worse earlier. Yoakley's had a good consistent run here trying to stay in the top 5. Here's Balance. Camera deceives how steep these climbs are out here. Oh, Smiley has gotten it stuck. The East Coast ATV Honda man is stuck, and the mud fleas are out in mass to try to help him. I think Boric just slipped by. I think that was Boric that went by on Smiley's left. Smiley losing a lot of ground out here. Again, this hill deceptively steep. They finally got that Honda freed. He's got to be frustrated. Here's Matt Smiley.
I'd love to walk out of here with a podium today and hopefully move up in the points a little bit. It's going to be hard to do unless some of the guys in front of me have some trouble, but you know, I figure if I just go out there and keep pulling the consistent rides together, it'll come to me.
Well, that's old school Matt Smiley. We used to call him Mr. Consistency about 5 years ago. He's had some problems the last few years. A great come-from-behind effort for his career this year. Brian Cook staying inside the top 10 of the Team Excel Motorsports ride. There's Balance, there's Boric. He's now in second, but a lot of ground would have to be made up here in the last lap. He's going to have to pray for a miracle and a mistake by Bill Balance. I don't think it's going to happen. Balance is headed to the checkered flag, and he wins the first ever Snowshoe GNCC. Chris Boric, frustrating day for him, will take second. Let's talk to our winner.
All right, Bill, amazing job out there today. Took another win, which is, I'm sure, exactly what you wanted.
Yeah, it's pretty good going to the break like this and have a little bit of relief now. But man, it was gruesome out there. This was the gnarliest thing I could have ever imagined trying to tackle on a quad. It was pretty bad out there.
What was the hardest part?
Oh, it was just this place brings a new meaning to tree roots. The roots are 3 or 4 foot above the ground, and there's springs coming out all over the place, huge big rocks, and it's just like you wet everything down with grease. There's absolutely no traction. Bikes strung all over the place, signs everywhere, and man, you just had to look ahead and be smart and do your best, and it worked out for us.
Well, Bill Balance is happy. He's going to extend his points lead, and Chris Borich definitely had the speed today. Second place, not what he's looking for. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, I came in and I was expecting a 5-lap race, and kind of screwed me over there. Ended up 4. I got stuck in the mud a little bit. It was pretty bad out there, but got a second here, and that's about it.
All right, let's review how the action went today. You see out the start, Borich was able to get the early lead. A lot of contenders in this one. You had Smiley up there, Bithell, Yoakley, McGill, Jenks, but eventually mistakes would capture all those riders, and maybe not a surprise here that the Yamaha rider, Bill Balance, was consistent enough when it got real gnarly down here in the woods to take the lead. Man, these last couple miles of this racetrack, I think it was miles 9 through 11, really trapped a lot of ATVs in here. Even Matt Smiley, he's got a lot of experience in these conditions, had his problems. And Bill Balance, well, he did what he had to do. He was smart, he was consistent, he wins the race and pulls away in points. Got to be happy about that. We go into a summer break, we'll be back. Bill Balance, Chris Borich, the battle rages on.